जय अम्बे मातु भवानी जय अम्बे जय अम्बे जय अम्बे जय अम्बे जय अम्बे मातु भवानी जय अम्बे दुर्गति हारिणी जय अम्बे पाप विमोचनी 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 जय अम्बे जय अम्बे जय अम्बे मातु भवानी जय अम्बे जगदोद्धारिणी जय अम्बे लोक संहारिणी 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 जय अम्बे जय अम्बे जय अम्बे मातु भवानी जय अम्बे मातु भवानी जय अम्बे मातु भवानी जय अम्बे मातु भवानी जय अम्बे जगदम्बा माता की जय। ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवती अष्टादशाध्यायिनी अम्ब त्वामनुसन्नतामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी हरि ओम्। If you are joining us tonight for the first time, we are seeing the 8th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And this chapter deals with the art of dying, I told you. The art of dying essentially involves the art of living. If we don't live properly, we cannot die properly. If we don't die properly, we come back into this world. The chapter has a very strong theme about Punarjanma, rebirth. And Punarjanma means Dukkhalayam, Ashashvatam. This world comes with sorrows. And the sorrow is due mainly to temporariness of the world. When it talks about the world, the temporariness of the world. And the temporariness has a lot of tricks about it. The temporariness about the world is the things which we want to be permanent, they are temporary only. They go very fast. And these things which we want to be temporary, they seem to be, they don't go at all. Things we want that it must look same and be same for a long time, it quickly changes. And those things which we want to change, like I want my neighbor must move and go and live somewhere else. But they don't go. They never go. They stay there only. You see? I want them to change their address, but they change their dress, not their address. No. So, the temporariness of the world is like that. My happiness become temporary then. Means to say, I wanted them, and I got a good hint that they were moving. So I was beginning to feel happiness already. Then I discovered they are not moving. Oh, my happiness was short-lived. See? So dukkha layam ashashvatam, punarjanma, leads to that this world which is abode of all sorrow. Dukkhayonaya evate, at other place he describes. So now, that punarjanma, rebirth, can only be avoided if we merge with God. That we call enlightenment, moksha, mukti, salvation, all sorts of nirvana, all things people call realization. Only upon realization one will not take birth in this world again. But here, Brahma Bhona Loka, Punaravartino Arjuna, from Brahmaji all the way down to last amoeba, all take birth again. But from Brahma Lok, if we go to that Brahma Lok, then chances are we will not take birth here. We will proceed further from there to merge with God, become one with God. That is the enlightenment that is being spoken about. To merge with God. Because Brahmaji also, in his world, there is still separation from God. You see, Brahmaji is the one who is responsible, given the portfolio of manifesting all things. From unmanifest, he brings it into manifest. And last night we saw a very detailed cosmological philosophy of Hinduism, about the manifestation of this cosmos, which is always either in a state of unmanifest or in a state of manifest. And even when it is in a state of manifest, there are things that are becoming manifest and things that are going out of manifestation at the same time. So it's a passing, ephemeral thing, just coming and things coming and other things going. And the whole world is like that. The whole Brahmanda is like that. Just like I told you, which is reflected at the Pinda level, the Brahmanda is the same. In the Pinda level, what is there? See, new children are being born and grandfather and grandmothers are going. New manifestation, they go out of manifestation. Grandfather, grandmother. So that is going on at the ordinary level, but that is going at the cosmic level as well. Same thing. Pinda Brahmanda, Nyaya of Shastras, you have to remember that. If you want to find out anything about this universe, look inside. Anything. We have sun and moon and everything right inside of us. Whole universe inside of us. The Pinda has to reflect the whole Brahmanda. So, like this, we saw last night. Now, I told you, Bhagavan started a topic about time also. Sahasra Yuga Paryantam, told about the duration of this world. And duration means the manifested duration. I mean, the duration which is, it stays manifested. And then it goes unmanifest, that it disappears. The world doesn't disappear. It just is not available for perception, but it is there in a subtle form, and it's called unmanifest form. Now when we left it, we had to see number 20, I told you we'll see. Right? Now see that number 20 we'll chant, and I'll tell you what is being. I introduced last night already, but we'll see in detail. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, 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 Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, तस्मातु भावोऽन्यः अव्यक्तो व्यक्तात् सनातनः। यस सर्वेषु भूतेषु नश्यत्सु न विनश्यति। श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम, श्रीकृष्ण शरणं Now I'll just have to give you a quick rundown about last night again. Then I'll come back to the verse. So we were saying that the whole universe goes into an unmanifest state, means unseen state. Not that it is destroyed or anything. It goes into an unseen state, dissolve. I'll tell you, unseen means like what? When you take some salt and you dissolve it in water. Now when you hold the salt like this in your hand, first you can see it. There is salt crystals, right? You take the salt now and you dissolve in water. Now the salt has been destroyed. The salt is not destroyed. The salt is only dissolved. And that dissolution causes the salt to go from visible to invisible. That is all. It is not gone anywhere. It has just changed from visible to invisible. That is called manifest to unmanifest. Though it is very much there, it just cannot be seen. And in the case of the universe, it cannot be perceived by any of the senses, because somebody people say, if it tastes the salt, you go still taste it there. It cannot be perceived by any of the senses. So they call manifest to unmanifest. So the universe goes into a state like that, an unmanifest state. And that unmanifest state stays for the one night of Brahmaji, which we told is 4.32 billion years. And then he wakes up in the morning after his one night sleep. Brahmaji is very disciplined and he sleeps from 6 to 6. We are like nocturnal creatures. Big night we still wake in. But Bhagwan Brahmaji, he goes to sleep 6 o'clock. And next morning he wakes up 6 o'clock again. Good, because he's Brahmaji, itahano Brahma Murfahi. He himself is Brahmaji, what Brahma Murti la. Anyway, so 6 to 6, one night, one day. So upon his waking up, the whole universe starts manifesting again. When he goes to sleep, the whole universe starts dissolving. Just like when we go to sleep and when we wake up. Our universe comes back when we wake up in the morning. Everything reappears in front of us. And when we go to sleep, man, we dissolve everything. That's why people love sleep so much. They can't deal with all these things outside, better go on. Sleep. Even when they have insomnia, they can't deal with it, but they can't sleep now. People can't deal with insomnia. They get up and they walk. They walk about. Somnambulist. Somnambulist. One fella and one girl, they got married. Not married, they got engaged. So while the engagement was going on, the girl telling the boy, we are getting engaged now and soon we are going to be married, but I must confess something to you. I am a somnambulist. That fella said, no problem, you go to your church, I will go to my church. We'll all go to our own church, no problem, I don't mind. But that sounds like some kind of religion or something, Mm-hmm. Anyway, so when Brahmaji wakes up, the world comes back. And just like when we wake up in the morning, our world comes back also. Now, that whole manifest, unmanifest, manifest, unmanifest, and there's an intervening period of just staying, right? It stays for a little while and then it becomes unmanifest again. That is a whole transformative world, isn't it? It is a world of, including Brahmaji, because when I go to sleep, my body also becomes unmanifest. I don't know my body is there. If anybody is sleeping next to me, I kick them and I don't know. If he is sleeping, he also will not know. Whoever is there, they also will not know. So my body also becomes unmanifest for the person who is sleeping. No part of his personality is manifest for him. Unmanifest. So, that whole process of even Brahmaji becoming, he goes to sleep. That all things, they are happening upon a substratum. But when I go to sleep in the night, all my thoughts and my ideas and my body, mind, intellect become unmanifest and merge where? Merge in my own mind. My mind goes into a certain state, seed state, where that mind becomes totally ignorant of any aspect or facet of my personality. It becomes ignorant. So it goes into a seed state. That is called the unmanifest state for me. So Brahmaji has the same sort of states, but that is still a transformation. I go into this state, come out from this state, and then the universe comes. Brahmaji goes into that state, universe comes when he wakes up, and goes back, universe dissolves. It's called pralay. And keep going. So there's a transformative. All of that is happening on a substratum, on a canvas of Paramatma, the supreme reality, which is called as Brahman, Parameshvara. All names are given for that substratum. Just like how the movie is playing on a screen. But not, the examples all have limitations. Within the body of the absolute reality, all these manifestations are happening and demanifestations are going on. And the body of the absolute reality is what is sustaining the whole thing. So now, this verse which we just chanted speaks about that substratum, that absolute reality. It says here, paraha, tasmat, tu. Tu means however, this avyakta, unmanifest, which we were just speaking about, is just the relative unmanifest. Brahmaji's world merging into him. And there it becomes unmanifest. But he says, there is a bhavaha, another reality, anya bhavaha, anyaha bhavaha, another reality, which is a substratum. Avyaktaha, avyaktat sanatanaha. See, for those who are studying the Sanskrit and all, you'll see there now. All the words which are in first case, avyaktaha, sanatanaha, bhavaha, paraha, all those words go together. Paraha, bhavaha, anyaha, paraha, bhavaha, avyaktaha, sanatanaha. There is another unmanifest that is eternal. So Brahmaji is going into the unmanifest state, the whole universe dissolves with him and stays in him. And when he wakes up, it again manifests. So Brahmaji is still in that transformative realm. But Brahmaji and the whole thing is happening upon a substratum, which is called the Anya Avyakta. I mean the other Avyakta, unmanifest, which is Sanatanaha. Sanatana means eternal. They are called Brahman, the absolute reality. Sanatanaha. And it is Avyaktat Paraha, other than the Avyakta which we have talked about yesterday. Avyaktat Paraha. Than that Avyakta which we spoke about yesterday, which is Brahmaji, going into unmanifest, becoming manifest. It is other than Paraha, Anyaha. Yasa sarveshu bhuteshu nashyatsu navinashyati. It is that permanent reality which never changes while all things go on changing. Like that screen starts off as being white, and on the screen all sorts of changes came. And blood and all sorts of things on that screen. And war and tsunami and everything on the screen. But when the movie is finished, screen is untouched, isn't it? Brahman is untouched. Though the screen was also supporting the whole drama. Amitabh Bachchan died. Gabbar Singh killed him. And everybody cried. And Veer cries also. And after that, screen is still untouched, nothing changed. Screen did not die. What was playing on the screen, that died. One fellow went and saw the movie 16 times. 16 times. Because when the train was passing, there was some graffiti on the wall. One paragraph was written. And he started reading. And the train passed and blocked the graffiti. He didn't get to finish reading the paragraph because the train passed and blocked the graffiti, and then that scene changed. And he went to see the movie 16 times, hoping that the train will pass away and he'll get to figure. 16 times I see that movie, that train never passed away. So long that train did. All kind of people in this world. Anyway, so this is the absolute reality that doesn't change. Now, this is a highly philosophical principle, idea, concept which is there in our Shastras. But I am telling you, please pay attention. It is good to know that Ram gone Banbas. It is good to know all of these stories and all. But that is not only our Shastras. Our Shastras are vast array of all philosophical systems that you could ever dream of. And if the mind doesn't delve into this aspect of Hindu philosophy, then we are missing out a great big. Not that anything is wrong with stories of Ramayana and all the different things. That is absolutely fine. It carries those stories carry within them all of these philosophical principles. So two choices we have now. What? We study the philosophical principles in verses like these in an unadulterated form, or we study the stories, and from the stories we pick out all the philosophical principles. Because they are there, hidden inside the stories. Now that is a task by itself, but this is also a task. You see? And the one who is able to take it out from the stories is the one who has studied this. That is why I keep telling people, please do not go on reading and studying these Puranas. They will confuse people, especially Garud Puran. Confuses people like anything. And people go on reading this thing and they get confused and they confuse everybody else also. Until one has really studied all of these Vedantic texts, that Garud Puran will never make sense and it will confuse everybody who is listening. But people insist on going reading Garud Puran. And they think it is only connected with Bhuta Pret. Garud Puran is connected with Bhuta Pret, means ghost and goblins. And in Hanuman Chalisa, he said, chant Hanuman Chalisa to get rid of Bhuta Pret. He's going to reading Garud Puran to see what is Bhuta Pret is all about. Bhuta Pisacha Nikatan Nahi Aave. So the Puranas have to be studied only after the philosophical principles of the Upanishads and Gita are understood. Then that thing will make sense, otherwise it will make total confusion only. And that is what happened. And there are many people who tell me, one family, somebody died in their house. Then they call somebody to read. Come read. He insists I read Garud Puran. He said after he read for 2 days, they stopped him because everybody became so upset. Confused and upset like anything. They told, don't read this thing again. Now, here, this highly philosophical idea of the absolute reality which forms the substratum of the universe. Now, I am not also going very deep into that thing. If you have to go deep into that, you have to come to our Vedanta class. And we don't go deep in one day. That takes time. They see when they're driving pile from construction. That pile doesn't go down like that. Days after you come back, still. Like that. So there is a substratum in the universe upon which the whole universe is playing. quite akin to how a movie plays on a screen, or how waves play onto water, H2O. Right? Like that. The water doesn't really transform. H2O remains H2O forever. But the whole ocean goes on changing. So the absolute reality remains the absolute reality forever. But here is manifestations coming and going. So it is called as Anya Avyaktaha. Anyaha Avyaktaha, the other unmanifest, which doesn't come into manifestation or go out of manifestation. Unlike Brahmaji, who comes into manifestation as this world and then goes out of manifestation, like that. That is the idea. Now, for this type of knowledge to take root, for this understanding to take root in a person's mind, that person has to have Chitta Shuddhi. Chitta Shuddhi means purity of mind. Otherwise, this knowledge will mean nothing. No clarity will come. It will not take root. And the person will not get any benefit out of this thing. There must be Chitta Shuddhi, means purity of mind. And Chitta Shuddhi has different levels also. All mala, all irregular impurities have to be removed. Kam, Krodh, Mada, Lobh, Ityadi. Means to say, all the irregular things like greed, desire, anger, arrogance, these are all regular impurities. Then there's the impurity of vikshepa, the constant restlessness of the mind. So you will notice, this is not the same class of impurity of the mind as anger and jealousy and all of the other things which are so common among people. The other one, the higher level impurity, that is called as vikshepa. Vikshepa means what? It means I cannot keep my mind steady. Now see, I may not hate anybody, so that I don't have that impurity. I may not get angry with anybody. I may not be greedy. So I don't have those type of impurities. But to keep that mind steady and fixed on one subject, to keep that mind concentrated and to meditate on the absolute reality, that mind is chanchal. Chanchalam himana Krishna pramati balavadram. Terribly chanchal means fickle and churning and moving and wild. No, mild, wild. That level of impurity of the mind, where it cannot sit like monkey mind. Like a monkey, nothing. Swami Vivekananda said, monkey, nothing. That mind is like a monkey that has been stung by a scorpion. Then, after him, scorpion sting the monkey, then a devil enter inside the monkey. Now it has scorpion poison and devil also. Then somebody give him a bottle of alcohol to drink. Think about his condition. Our mind is like that. That is why you see, a speaker like me have to try all kind of trick to keep your mind here. Otherwise, your mind gone. When you come back now, you ask, what you say? Why everybody laughing? You're asking the next person. What did you just say? What was that? You miss it. You see, mind gone. Mindlessness. When it's actually supposed to be mindfulness. Mindless. So, for this type of thing to take root, the mind has to really be prepared. And therefore, Bhagavan speaks about several things. See, we are doing chapter 8. But in chapter 6, 2 chapters before, the Lord there speaks about many practices, ordinary practices in life. So that will help to bring the Chitta Shuddhi. And in 3rd chapter, about doing our duty and all of those things, they all help to bring purity of mind. And all the corrupt practices and corrupt things that are there in the mind, they all go away by doing our duty and by inculcating all great qualities and all such things, given in 7th chapter also. So in many places, so many things to purify the mind. Then only this thing will take root. Otherwise, now we are speaking about some anyaha avyakta sanatanaha avyaktaha bhavaha. There is another eternal, unmanifest reality. But that thing will not make any sense or mean anything to a person whose mind is what this Swami talking, why he don't sing a bhajan? Like that he'll say. You understand? Even though that mind will not have any interest in grasping anything more subtle, more profound. You see, he's sing a bhajan. One of my guru, he went to some place, some satsang he was doing. So, and the satsang was over. He asked, does anybody have any question? One drunk man was there in the back. He put up his hand. He said, yes, what is your question? He said, sing a bhajan. He said, that's not a question. He said, all right, let me ask you a question. He said, since I'm small, I hear Allah, oh Akbar, I want to know when he go pay him. You really ask him that? when he go pay him. You know what's the lesson from that? Don't ask anybody, ask any question. Because you'll get some kind of question that I tell you. The preparation of the mind is important. And if that is not prepared, this thing will not be of any interest to that person. He will not want to hear any of this. And preparation of the mind has so many sadhanas. From the simple things like watching our diet, disciplining our life, having a routine every day and all of that sort of thing. All that leads to stability of mind. And then all the other values, giving up durgunas, what we call undesirable qualities, and picking up all the gunas, good qualities. Simple thing, our speech. Why I do not know why people have to go on cursing. Every sentence, 2 or 3 curse. No, see, control of speech, yogasya pratama dvaram. Vang nirodha. The first door in the spiritual path is to control speech only. So you see like that, all of these practices are there. And the simplest one is japa. You take some mala and go on chanting. And the parents also have to put into the children all of these great values. The parents are always at fault. Please pay attention to this. Children never at fault. A child is not born a criminal. His parents, his environment, the people around him, they made him into a criminal. If you say, no, it is the society around him, the parents were good people in the neighborhood, they made him into a criminal. And you let him go there in the neighborhood. You allowed him to go and roam the neighborhood. So the neighborhood caught him and made him into a criminal. But where was your parenting? So it is always the parents. And you see what a terrible thing yesterday on the news and all. What a terrible thing. That youngster, 15 years or something, he chopped up his mother like anything. What a thing. And parents, what they say? That is only to escape responsibility. They say, I make the child, I didn't make him mine. That is a lie. Let me tell you how that works in this whole manifestation thing. And this is how important sanskar and sanskarization and parenting and child rearing and all of these things, how important it is. All the aspects of both the parents, physical, emotional, mental, intellectual, all likes and dislikes and all of that put together attracts another jiva from another part of the universe that matches perfectly with all of those sanskars which the parents have. So the part about make the child, I didn't make him mind, that has some truth in it in this regard. What? That every jiva in this universe has his own mind. But what the parents did by being of a certain type, so if I am violent, I will attract a jiva because the number of jivas in the universe is infinite. So I will attract a jiva into my home that is exactly like me. So if I'm violent, I'll attract a jiva that is violent. I really didn't create his mind, but I invited him wholeheartedly into my. We don't make the mind and make anything of anybody. So that jiva matches what we say cent% in Indian language. Cent%. In Trinidad, what do we say for that? 100%. Matches. So I bring that jiva from somewhere by the force of my personality. No, by personality is of the divine type in 6th chapter of the day. And divine type will come to my home, in my life. My personality is of the other type will come. In Rakshas home, Rakshas only will be born. In Sadhu home, Sadhu only will be born. Now, that means to say what? Parenting has parenting also now has a great importance. What is important there now? If I told you on one of the previous days, one of the law of this universe is the law of entropy. I told you about that, na? You leave anything unattended. See, this boarding pass is there, right? If I leave it unattended for the next 30 years, one place, do not attend, don't do it, will get better or worse. That is the law. It will get worse. It will not get better. So even though you may have attracted a good jiva to your home, if you leave that jiva unattended, the elements around will get to him and make him into something not good. It means the moment he comes, I am supposed to get on the ball, teaching, buttressing, supporting, all good values, all good things. Inside of that, be kindle, awaken in that person all the good things. Otherwise, if we don't, the society outside is waiting to awaken all the bad things. All good and bad is there waiting to be awakened in anybody. And he may have had a lot of good karma. Awaken those. So now, that process of the purification of the mind to understand these higher principles, this is talking about the most subtle thing in the universe, starts with in the home with all of this proper parenting and all. And no child should be left neglected. Any mind left neglected becomes dangerous for society. And that is where we are, or why we are where we are today. The mind's left unattended, and you leave a lot of land behind there unattended. You come back after a few years, then you will see. That's what we have done with our children and all. And you know what is the worst thing about that now? That generation left, and that started when I was in school. That generation left unattended is just now going to get into all the offices of power. Not just now. Already there. All over the world. They got into power. Then what is going to happen to the world? Ram Naam Satya hai. So, the preparation has to start with all of the different aspects of a disciplined life, spirituality and family life and all those things. The mind will appreciate and accept this idea of the absolute reality very easily. In fact, it will be drawn toward that idea. That again is spoken about in the next verse also. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri अव्यक्तोऽक्षर इत्युक्तः तमाहो परमां गतिम् यं प्राप्य न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम श्रीकृष्ण शरणं पार्थ श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम श्रीकृष्ण शरणं अव्यक्तः अक्षरः इति उक्तः तम आहुः परमां गतिम्. This supreme reality which we just spoke about, which is Sanatanaha, Anyaha, Avyaktaha, Paraha in the previous verse, supreme absolute reality behind the universe is called as Paramam Gatim. It is the supreme goal to be reached. It's called the supreme goal to be reached. Until one reaches there, one only has reached worlds of coming and going. Where is the sense of coming and going, coming and going? And coming and going have a lot of pain. You have to get boarding pass and wait. Coming and going have boarding pass and security, immigration and customs. Process, isn't it? Sometimes you miss your plane. In this coming and going, you know, Yamraj, nobody ever miss, eh? Yamraj don't make joke. Yamraj one day come in. He come to take the king. So he passed in front of the palace and he stopped by the gate. And he told the security guard, Jogidar, he said, go inside and tell your king in 5 minutes I'm coming back for him. So the security guard went inside quickly and he told the king, oh my God, Your Majesty, Yamraj just passed. Lord of death. He said he's coming back for you in 5 minutes. Well, 4 minutes. That was a minute ago. King said, oh my God. He told that security guard. He said, you take out your security uniform and give to me here. And you put on this cape and all of these things here. Royal robes. And you sit down on this throne. Security guard started to cry. Give me a security uniform. The king take the security uniform and go and sit down in the security booth in front. And the security guard now sit down on the throne with his staff and crown and thing. He crowned him in a minute. Yamraj gone up the road and come back. And when he reached there, he watch. He said, oh God, I'm late. I have to go inside for this king. I'm going to take the security guard instead. Yeah? Take the security guard and go on. You can't escape. You may jump high and jump low and all. Nothing is going to happen. So, this supreme goal, only when that is reached, there is this cessation of coming and going. Yamraj all the time, Yamraj all the time. Nobody likes Yamraj. Bhagavan Shankaracharya tells the best in Bhajagod. He laments this thing. Punarapi jananam. See. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Punarapi janani jathare shayanam. Iha samsare bahudustare. Kripaya pare pahi murare. Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam. Again and again birth and again death, over and over. But this Paramam Gatim, again and again lying in some womb somewhere waiting. Udbijaja, Andaja, Yonija, some type of Ja. Svedaja. He is born from sweat, like some little bacteria. Born from an egg. Born from some womb. He's waiting somewhere. All the time. Taking ride. So, this Paramam Gatim is such, reaching which Yad Gatva Nanivartante Tad Dhama Paramam Mama. That will come. A supreme state, reaching which there is no return to this world. Yam Prapya Nanivartante. There it is. This is the second line. Yam Prapya, that is said in various ways, in so many lines in this Bhagavad Gita. Yam Prapya, having reached which? Having attained which? Nanivartante tad dhama paramam mama. That is my supreme abode. So that is our aim, that is our goal, that's why we are here. That's why we are given all of these faculties, this rare human birth. Bare bhag manushatana pava. Suradullah vasava grantani gawari. God also prayed to have a body like this. Human body. Look how nice all of we come here, we have satsang. And dogs don't go to satsang. Even if they go waiting for parasat. Cows and animals and all, they can't. Even if they when the joke also is told, they can't laugh. That also they can't get from a satsang. You see? But human beings, endowed with all the wonderful faculties, and we can strive for the highest goal. Yam prapya nanivartante, with reaching which there is no coming back to this world. If this human birth is not used, Tulsidaji says in the same Purajana Geeta, if human birth is not used, that person is wasted one more birth. And how difficult it is to get this human birth, you know. Bare bhagi manushitana pava. How difficult it is to get this human birth, you know. There are, let us just give you that example to think about. There is a big open, big field. And that thing has a wall right around. So you can't get out. And there are 8.4 million doors. 8.4 million doors. And you are in the middle of that field. That wall has 8.4 million doors. Imagine the size of the wall. And you are in the middle of the field. And you're blind. And it only has one door open. And only one of the 8.4 million doors open. And you're blind, and so you can't know which door you went and check. And you could only check about 25 today. And 25 next day. Next day when you start back now, you don't know where to start. Because you can't see. Isn't it? No, I go take chalk and mark. Where you go see the mark? So like that, and we have to find that open door. That is how difficult it is to find this human body, and we found it. That means to say, that is how rare the human body is. And now we have that one rare opportunity to reach this supreme state. Human birth is that rare opportunity. It says, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says in Vivek Chudamani, the one who doesn't do it, he calls it Atmaha. He commits suicide thereby. Commit suicide means what? When a person gives up their body, they give up this human birth, and now you're born as a donkey somewhere. If he's not already one donkey. He's born as a donkey somewhere in Egypt. Beast of burden. So, this supreme state is spoken about. Now, one question remains, a very important question. I told you just now, there are many, many means to reach there. Japa, tapa, yajna, ityadi, this thing, that thing, right? Bhagavan tells one of those means in this next verse now, how to reach that supreme abode. So many things we can do. And there's one more nice thing about Hinduism. Huh? In Hinduism, there are different strokes for different folks. Anybody practice whatever they want. There is no need. Bhagavan's variety is protected, retained, maintained, and propagated in Hinduism. Bhagavan's natural variety. Variety is the spice of life. Na? Everybody is unique, and so we have unique sadhanas, and everybody can take each sadhana, each spiritual practice, and make it into his own. And practice it how he wants also. It is tailored for every soul. Not everybody has to do the same thing. In a classroom of 30 children, all the children will learn the same. They may be of the same age, but they don't learn same. They don't understand things the same also. When the teacher tells 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, like that fellow cannot say alarm. Alarm. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. The other one, 2 plus 2 is 22 for him. When we were learning Sanskrit like that, Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha, Ramam, Ramo, Rama, Ramena, Ramayam, Ramahi, like this. All of us are learning this way. One fellow in our class, he learning this way. Yeah. He's vertically proficient. Horizontally challenged. Yeah. So, the world is different. So we have different sadhanas, different strokes for different folks. You take any sadhana and practice how you want. Eh? Japa mala, everybody pulling like this. And if you're comfortable doing like that, it's not the mala which is important. There's a prescription, you do like this, you bring towards you the beads. Take care if you can't do. Well, nobody is going to eat you. Pratyavaya na vidyate. Today we are seeing that only. Now see, what is the means Bhagavan gives in the next verse? Very popular means, well known throughout all the religions of the world. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Purusha Sapara Patha Bhaktya Labhyasmananyaya Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Yasyantastani bhutani Yena sarvamidam tatam Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam How is that supreme state attained? Ananyaya bhaktya labhyaha. 2. Indeed, that supreme state is achieved by ananya bhakti, single pointed devotion. Bhakti. Ananya bhaktya. Ananyaya bhaktya labhyaha. It is obtained. Purusha sappara partha upartha. That supreme Purusha which we were just talking about, the substratum of the universe, the absolute reality, is obtained by single pointed devotion. This is, now suppose the person is an intellectual type. Then the devotion, what he has to do? That person has to be devoted to knowledge. People are devoted to all types of things in this world, mostly money. People are devoted to all sorts of things in the world, and mostly people are devoted to money. Money talks. One man says, money talks. My one always says goodbye. My money talks. It says goodbye. So, in this world, everybody's mind is only oriented towards money. So, devoted towards what? Money. Devoted towards money like anything. We sell our soul, sell spirituality, sell everything to get money. Yasyanta sthani bhutani yena sarvam idam tatam. That supreme state is called as the state in which all beings rest and by which all beings are pervaded. That supreme reality pervades the whole entire universe, and all things in the universe rest in that supreme reality, without which nothing will be there. So that supreme reality is obtained or reached by ananya bhakti, unflinching single-pointed devotion. So now what is this single-pointed devotion? Devotion has to have several aspects to it. One aspect is nama smaran, remembering the name of God. Devotion itself has several key aspects in its practice. Devotion will be given in 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. This is chapter 8. 12th chapter is called Bhakti Yoga. So there it will be presented from a standpoint of knowledge. But devotion from the Bhakti Marg standpoint, in the ordinary devotion standpoint, one of the first requirement of devotion is Nam Smaran, to go on remembering the name of God, or chanting the name of God. Then there are other aspects that I will tell you just now. Let us chant a little bit. Bhaj man Radhe Govinda, Bhaj man Radhe Govinda, Bhaj man Radhe Govinda, Bhaj man Radhe 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 Govinda, Bhaj man Radhe 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 Govinda, Bhaj man Vrindavan Sanchari, Bhaj man Vrindavan Sanchari, Bhaj man Radhe 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 Govinda, Bhaj man Yamuna Tir Vihari, Bhaj man Yamuna Tir Vihari, Bhaj man Radhe 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 Govinda, ki jai. Nam Smaran is a very important part of devotion. Bhakti is number one. Number two is prema. Prema means love. I mean, if we don't have love, here it is an amazing thing. There are people who claim that they have love for God, but they don't like their spouse, they don't like children, they don't like neighbor, they don't like government, they don't like animals, they don't like nature, they don't like the environment, they don't like anything. But then who they like? And they claim that they have devotion for Bhagwan. Bhagwan is the Lord who is manifest in all things in the universe. To have love for all things in the universe, they call it prem. And that prem comes from appreciating his Lord in all things, the Lord in all things. And the third important, now bhakti has several aspects. I am giving the three legs on which it stands, but there are many other aspects. The last aspect of bhakti, which is very important, without which it cannot be called bhakti, that thing is called seva. Seva means I am supposed to do something for the world, do something for other human beings, because the Lord is manifested as all other human beings and things in the world. So Nam Smaran, Prema, and Seva. A person who thinks he is a devotee of the Lord and doesn't do anything, Hanumanji scolds Vibhishan, You call yourself a devotee of God? Bhagwan's spouse has been kidnapped and brought here, you're sitting here in Lanka and you're watching? What are you doing? Tulsidas, of course, doesn't have the heart to do that. Even other places. Ananda Ramayana. He scolds him. If you have devotion for Bhagwan, you're not doing any seva. So the last aspect is visible manifestation of love. Otherwise, love is there in the heart, who will know? Seva is the visible manifestation of that love. You have to do something. Society is crying out from all sides. I have to offer my seva in some way. I told you that there are only two types of people in the world. One type of person, he does seva. And the other one, he does nothing, he just watches and seva. Means that is done. Seva. Seva. So, the third aspect of this devotion, I said by this type of bhakti, he says, labhyaha. That Purusha, Paraha Purusha. Supreme reality is labhyaha. This type of single pointed devotion for the Lord is reached. We just have to follow. But the human being is such, human being is the most unjust being. The human being is unjust and untruthful to his bone. Untruthful. He wants that goal, but he doesn't want to exert and put out the effort that is the quota that is required for the acquisition of that goal. He wants to give half quota. Some people no quota. But he must get that goal. That is untruthful or not? Untruthful. I should be willing and ready and prepared to give what it takes to reach the supreme goal. Everybody wants the goal, but nobody wants to do the consciously or unconsciously. We all want this goal of reaching the supreme state. That's what we are actually craving for. We may not know it. It is manifest in and through all our desires and all our ambitions and all our pursuits. But that is what we want only. All right, we shall pick this up and complete it tomorrow. 5 verses are left, I think. Let me tell you a few announcements, and then we'll have the Aarti. We brought Gangadhara pamphlets. You'll get one of these. We're having Gangadhara festival in Blanchisseuse on the 27th of May. Before that, Puja Swami Shantananji is coming to the ashram 7th to 11th of May. For Yajna, Swamiji lives in New Jersey and he'll be here for Yajna. Please come and attend this Yajna. In May also Swami Raghavananji is coming, he'll be at the ashram. You can come and get his darshan and meet him also. Then May 27, Gangadhara. May 30th, our Chai Sanmelan and tea party, and also the drawing of the 3-car raffle. And one of these days the car will be down in Gulf City in the mall. Those of you who go to Gulf City, you might be able to see it there. Yes, it's still being finalized. Dr. Stephen Rambrup today made some arrangement for the car to get down to Gulf City. Okay. Now, July 23rd to August 17th, we'll have summer classes in Hinduism for children at the ashram. You bring your children at 8 o'clock in the morning and pick them up at 4 o'clock. Please tell all your friends and all your relatives and all to bring the children to the ashram. July 23rd to August 17th, summer classes in Hinduism, ages 8 to 18. On July 27th, we have Pandit Ronu Majumdar, who will be coming from India to play flute for us, a very world-renowned flautist. See, it's so good to have your English teacher right in front of you. You know what? Flautist. He has won many awards and all. And he's also received the Presidential Award from India, nominated for Grammy and all. Very famous he is. And has had played for movies and played with all the great artists of India. On the 30th of July, we have our Mahasamadhi camp in San Diego, California. Those of you who can make it, please come. I'm also going this year. I'm going this year as well. Then August 31st, we have our food fair at the ashram. 108 different types of vegetarian dishes for you to try out in August. And of course, just now the tea party also has a variety of things, especially stone-baked pizza. My pizza oven. People line up for that, you know. Now we'll make them take numbers. In March next year, we are going to India on the 6th of March. And also to Thailand. 1 month tour. India and Bangkok, Thailand. Those of you who are interested, please call up Hema and leave your name there. The cost is $7,000 US, includes all flights and hotels and ground transport. Inside India also trains and buses, and in Thailand also, all of it is included. Yeah? Those of you who are interested in that. All right, I think that's about that. Tomorrow, Devji will mention to you about the about next year's Yajna. आरती के लिए सब खड़े हो जाइए।